Good morning or good afternoon, I guess.
Yeah.
We're not used to doing it this late. This show is normally about how many hours?
I had to go this way.
Yeah, 4 hours after we normally do our show on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
Oh my God, it's
but
so weird.
we had an opportunity to have a special guest on today because Jax is doing a bunch of press. They reached out and asked if we'd want to have her on the show. So we said, why not do an extra show this week?
So she'll be joining us. Our interview was set for 12:15.
Yes.
We obviously said we were going to start the show around 12-ish just so that we could be here.
Because I had a couple of technical issues that I had to iron out, and now we are good. So in about 5 minutes or so, we should be getting a message saying that Jax is ready to roll.
Is this Roosevelt shirt was it only at Seattle Comic-Con?
Yes, this was the Seattle, one of the 3 Seattle exclusives they had. I still have it. Oh, yeah, I have the little tag because I thought it was cool.
Oh. What are you going to do with that?
I don't know. Maybe I'll use it as like a keychain and put it on my backpack or something. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is
so
super cool.
If you're familiar with our hockey team here in Seattle, this is kind of Kraken inspired. And they even have one little red button because there's like the red eye in the Kraken logo.
Can you, where's the chat to pin things? Can you make that readily available?
It's right there. If you want to pin something.
Not pin. Yes.
Yeah,
not
right
pin,
there.
but show on screen. Okay.
Yes. So we do have a lot of stuff to talk about today, not just the fact that Jax is with us, although that is the biggest thing. That's the reason why we're doing this show. But we also have to talk about New Jersey's NIT disaster.
We're going to talk about that after Jax?
Yeah, because I thought we were going to have a little more time beforehand, but we're going to have her on in about 4 minutes, so I don't want to start a whole thing and then cut it off. We also have to talk about something I'm not proud of. We have the annoying gym couple. We'll talk about that. And obviously, Carnival of Cocktails is going down on April 1st. So if you haven't bought your tickets yet, you should do that, especially if you're in the Seattle area, because we are going to drink, we're going to eat, we're going to hang out, and maybe some other special things that we can do.
Yeah. I want to acknowledge all the people that saying that my hair looks so great and it's so long.
Why?
Because they're saying that, and I want to say thank you. You never get to see my hair this fresh live because I had time to shower and wash it this morning. Normally at 8 a.m. I'm obviously not doing that. So it is super fresh. Like it was washed less than an hour ago.
Real quick, Gretchen from Iowa asked a question. Will this be on YouTube later? Her flight is about to take off.
Oh,
yes. We will be posting the interview. We'll be posting the whole show, and then we'll post the interview by itself in case that's the only reason that you feel like hanging out today. So
Just keep playing.
What are you doing?
It's because when it's straight, it's like super long.
Mm-hmm.
I do need to get the ends cut. I might do some curtain bangs.
So what are curtain bangs?
Like,
What's different than regular bangs?
Well, I've made that mistake before. They're like longer and they they look like curtains.
Those don't look like curtains. I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what's weird? When I wear my hair straight like this, I think that I look like Scotty B's daughter, Ashley.
I can see that.
And I'm like,
yeah.
I got to tell him that. He's going to be like, you're so weird, dude.
Claire from Olympia, do you straighten your hair or is it natural?
I blow dry it and then I just hit it with the straightener a little bit to shape it how I wanted. But if you give it a good blow dry, this head anyway, I don't need to worry about it.
Sweet Eats by V. Hello from my lunch break. I survived the 200 cake jars.
That is awesome.
We never doubted you. Not for 1 minute, Sweet Eats by V.
That's so cool.
I'm going to join over here just to make sure that we are ready whenever they need us. So
that's so cool. It says Atlanta Records welcomes you.
Well, they can't see that. That's just what we see right now. So I'm just hoping. So one of the problems in doing things live, and especially doing them without like a producer in the background, is you never know how it's going to turn out, and you've got to troubleshoot live basically. So I think I did it all properly. I think that it'll fit right where I have it slotted on our other screen, but you never know. You never know.
Okay, just making sure they're not texting.
Let's see. Yeah, slap a zombie. I've said this a million times, and it doesn't matter necessarily how you feel about the Joe Rogan podcast or the Joe Rogan experience, but his producer, so good. Jamie. I need a Jamie because Jamie's also their fact checker.
Isn't Jamie the same producer not same name as the producer on the Armchair?
I've never listened to that podcast actually. That's Dak.
Dax.
What's his name?
Dax.
Dak Shepard.
Don't get it confused with Jax.
That's Dax Shepard, though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Remember when we met the Seattle Sounders players, and I told them that we knew Dax Shepard?
Oh, yeah, not Dax McCarty. Move over this way, Carla.
I know, but I was blocking things. So.
Blocking what?
Like, I block more of the TV when that happens.
Yeah, the TV is not the important thing here.
Yeah, but it's off-centered, and that is making me twitch a little.
We'll figure that out later. This is why we need to set up a new studio and have a producer one day. But we actually, we're working towards that kind of stuff. So, ooh, this is interesting. It's Meg, not Megan. Carla Marie, you seem nervous.
Oh, she's joining. Jackson.
Make sure you understood it well.
Oh,
okay. Let's see. Hold on.
Oh.
I need to make sure that we are.
Hi, hang on 1 second, Jax. We are going to pull you over to our live screen. Anthony will just, there we go. Okay.
Perfect.
All right, now everyone can see you now.
Hello.
Hello. You guys are so beautiful.
Oh my God. So are you. It's so nice to finally meet you. I feel like
you too.
You've hung out with our Elvis show fam. You got to hang out with Ricky in Nashville. We felt very left out.
John in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All the freaking, that's the squad, guys.
It is.
So, Jax, let me say this first. First off, my name is Anthony. If you
yeah.
didn't know which one was which, but I am Anthony.
I'm Carla Marie.
But I feel like I have right now a view into like this magical world because that's the room. Like all of your TikToks or a lot of your TikToks go down into that room, and I feel like I'm getting a behind the scenes view of that.
Yeah.
Look at all.
Got it. Yeah. This is it. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. You're good.
Just unplug my stupid
Oh,
computer.
there you go.
Yeah, this is it. It's like the size of a closet in here.
It's all you need. It only needs to be that big. You're good.
Right. I'm like, how much more space could I use? I love it in here. This is we've moved since starting TikTok. From like the world's crappiest apartment, like in the history of the planet, and which was like some of our favorite times.
Yeah.
And
that's how it goes.
But we couldn't like ditch the OG thing that was the backdrop, which was just our living room. We literally had this keyboard set up in the valley, which is very hot, and over the AC unit. There was no central AC. So it was like every time we wanted to film, we had to turn the AC off because it would be like blasting into the microphone and you wouldn't hear a thing. So
and then it just turned into a sweat box.
Dripping sweat. Like I remember looking over at Natasha Bedingfield and just seeing like the drip of sweat and being just like so humiliated.
So let me ask you this then. Did you ever think, because obviously you've wanted to be an artist for a long time. Like you grew up, that's what you wanted to do since you were a kid.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that TikTok or any social media app would be one of like the main driving forces
and would eventually land you on a billboard in Times Square?
Yeah.
Okay. No. the basic answer to that is no. I mean, definitely didn't think on TikTok. I thought like I had a really hard time understanding the app. I still do, honestly, because I feel like I'm a little older for it.
Same.
But I mean, it's the kids. They have like Gen Z is like a whole other language, you know?
I'm with you. But I love it. Like I love all the vibes that Gen Z is putting out. I'm all for it.
Wait,
so like hands down, the smartest generation we got.
So are you like the youngest part of millennial?
Yeah, I'm actually the youngest millennial. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm a 96.
Oh, and that's the cutoff. I have no idea when the generations start or end.
The last millennial.
You and my nieces are the same age, so I feel like I'm your aunt.
Yay.
In such a weird way. Okay.
But let's talk about the song.
The reason we're talking to you today is Cinderella Snapped. So I first heard the song when I saw the Instagram video you put out with your grandma, with Nana.
Same.
I was like, oh my God, I love everything about this. Obviously, your relationship with your grandma, the lyrics. I was like, I need to hear this whole thing now. But I want you to explain quickly where the song came from and what, the whole book that your grandma edited. Explain that whole story.
Can I swear?
Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, okay. There's this little fuckboy named Sammy back in the day. And I had this like, which felt like end of the world drama as it does
of course.
In elementary school and middle school and whatnot. So like there was like a little princess ball thing going on and I got dumped like pretty much like he didn't want to dance with me. He asked me and then didn't want to dance with me. And then I went home early and it was just this like whole drama fest. And to make a point, she had scribbled out the things she disagreed with about like the Disney princesses in my Cinderella book. And when my parents found that in storage, I was like, oh, there's a song in there and I know it. It's not exactly the book,
Right.
Yeah.
right? Not even, honestly, not even close, but it was like
The idea.
I took like basically the concept that, you know, there were things in there like Cinderella, like didn't need to wait for the prince to pick her, you know, to be his wife, or Cinderella didn't wait for her shoes. She bought her own shoes was a one line in there. And I was like, oh, that's so smart. She's such a songwriter. And I was like, I'm going to turn this into a song. I showed it to her recently. But on a like deeper front of what I was going through. I mean, that's always fun because that's how most things come about in my life, where it's like I have not many friends, but I'm very, very close with my like tight knit group of people and family. And when we talk and when we reminisce and when we visit each other, that's when like all of my ideas kind of pop up because I'm so connected to it and the people that made me who I am at 26. Right. So, I did it with my parents, my fiance, you know, my best friend. Like I have so many songs inspired by everyone. But the truth of the matter is this past year, it's my first time. It's certainly not my first time in music being, you know, kind of pushed in the directions people thought I should be in, and hear the whispers of what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, and what sucks and what doesn't, and this and that. And it's just like, I've gotten a lifetime of that to the degree of like being like, should I quit? Right. Because I think I suck and I don't think any of this is good. And it's so much noise on the internet. Like we were talking about earlier, there's no shot for me. Right. I can't make a living like this. And now I'm sitting here. I was gifted by some miracle, like an audience of like 13 million people that actually care about my original songs. And I'm like, okay, first of all, I got to do something important with it in the event, just like the world explodes tomorrow. Because I fought my whole life for this and I can't believe it's actually happening. And on a second note, like I have all these corporate players involved that.
Yeah, but you're proving with your audience every day that it doesn't matter what the corporate players are really thinking, what you're making, we love.
Look, yeah. I'm gonna write that I'm gonna put it on a pillow in my house next to the Live Laugh Love one my mom got me. and I would love to say that that's the truth in like where my heart's been, but it's been a real emotional roller coaster for me, navigating how to, you know, stay inspired in my work and stay creative and tell people to like stay out of the creative side or tell them to come into the creative side without being, or tell them what I need, like in my project without being called emotional. And that was like a really big thing for me whenever I like kind of stood my ground with all things corporate around me all year. Right.
Jax, I think like, we could do an entire, so we come from the world of radio and obviously very different than being an artist, but the whole being told what to do, you're too emotional, you're dramatic.
There's a good amount of gaslighting that goes from the corporate side to the creative side. But can I make a suggestion? I know we don't know each other very well.
Please, God,
after she just said she doesn't want to hear.
No, this isn't. I promise.
Is he about to mansplain gaslighting to
you said something. You said something that caught my attention.
Sorry to interrupt you, Anthony. We call it ant-splaining when Anthony mansplains on the show. So,
but you said something.
I love advice. I'm here for it.
That caught my attention. You said something that caught my attention earlier. You said by some miracle you have like this 13 million person army that's behind you. But I think you need to stop thinking that it's a miracle. Yeah. You worked for that. It isn't a miracle. It wasn't by chance. You are, and as someone who's meeting you for the first time, I've seen so many of your interviews with our friends like Elvis or John or whoever else or Ricky, but you are so genuinely you and you are so kind. And that's how you got to where you are. It wasn't a miracle. Because if you were an asshole, it probably wouldn't have happened.
Hey, well, it's like little mini miracles in life. Like the way I look at it is like there are plenty of people, and I know them personally, like that are far like light years more talented than I am at songwriting. People I look up to, right?
Right.
And that have worked way longer than I have, that are just can write and sing circles around me. That because the internet is such a crazy space. Yeah, it's so hard to navigate like how to get people to listen to your music. And that is where that little miracle comes in for me. Cause that's all I've ever done. And I've fought for. And
that's fair.
from the open mic nights to the writing sessions a day, hopping from studio to the taking out the loans out here. Like I like it was such a grind around people that everyone equally deserved the attention on their music. So I'm beyond grateful for it. I'm just trying to like now use it as if it could go away tomorrow. And
That's smart.
I mean, the coolest part about the whole thing is that, you know, not to get all gooey on you guys.
No, please
We'll
bring it
take
on.
it.
I don't feel like anything like is given to you before you're ready for it, no matter how hard you ask. And I prayed and I prayed and I prayed, like for the wrong reasons and for the wrong things. And then when I stopped asking for it and I just kind of like locked the doors and just did my own thing, what made me feel inspired in the middle of a freaking global pandemic, that's when like things started working. And that was when I was ready to give it up, you know, like it's when things are just like not forced, you know, and I'm having a freaking ball. Right.
And that's the important thing.
Like,
That's really the most important thing out of all of it.
Just like Cinderella at the ball. No.
like, dude, I have acid reflux. I have lockjaw. I have chronic insomnia. Like I have a stress rash on my lower back right now, but I am having a freaking ball.
I love it.
The world is falling down around us, but as long as we're having a good time, who cares?
I
So
mean,
your grandma, Nana, obviously
Yeah.
made a huge impression on you, like with that book, right? When you were growing up, I'm assuming Miss Independent, which is what she named the book,
Yeah.
was something that kind of always stuck with you. And when I was thinking of that, I was wondering if you think your song Victoria's Secret made that same impact on Chelsea as Nana did on you with Miss Independent.
oh my God. I don't even think of it that way, but yeah, hell yeah. Not just her, especially my
Of
mom.
course.
Yeah, like my mom, I don't know a more hardcore feminist than my mom. Like in every way, shape, and form. Like she's like literally like the Brooklyn boss. Zero fucks. Like
I love it.
will kill for her kids, but also like drove it home for me that I should not be taking no for an answer until it's like absolutely necessary. And like, it's like play chicken until it's done, you know?
Yeah,
And I think like I definitely had my versions of my babysitter moments growing up with very badass
Right.
women in my life. So I am so fortunate. Not everybody gets to say that. So
Yeah.
Well, also part of it is that East Coast mentality because we're born and raised New Jersey. We've been in Seattle for 7 years, but I do see someone
Shout
in the
out East Brunswick.
Yeah.
let's go.
I see
Go
people
Bears.
in the chat saying, wait, she's drinking Dunkin' Donuts. I'm like, yeah, that's a Jersey thing.
Because I don't fuck around. Like I'm not gonna go to Starbucks. What is that? Like
Let me ask you this. Okay,
Dunkin', nice.
so let me ask you this. You are from Jersey, and East Brunswick is the dividing line, I feel like. That whole Rutgers area is the dividing line between North and South. So this is a very important question, and it's going to really...
I know what it is.
It's really going to navigate how I feel about you for the rest of my life.
Oh shit.
Taylor
I know
ham,
what the question
Taylor
is.
ham
I
or
did not-
pork roll?
Pork roll all day. I don't. What the fuck is Taylor ham?
I thought
What
you were
is even Taylor ham, egg, and cheese? It's pork roll, egg, and cheese.
Oh,
Like, I don't know. Honestly, it's just ham, egg, and cheese in my head. But like, I'm like, who the hell is Taylor?
That's different.
I only
Taylor
know
made
one
the ham
Taylor.
famous.
I thought Anthony was going to ask the question, does Central Jersey
Central
exist?
Jersey, me too. I thought so too. Like he took me off. Wow.
Oh, man.
But
The
does
answer is,
it?
I don't. Yeah, I think. I don't know.
Okay. I'll take
I
that
didn't
answer.
spend enough time. I'm also like half New York.
Mhm.
I'm like and everybody likes to say they're a little muggle, but I actually am. Like I
You
was
are.
literally like half my life in New York, and we still have the house in New York. It's
Oh,
like
cool.
a little shack.
You
on
need
the
that.
beach.
Yeah.
The one straggler that like didn't get hit by Sandy, and it's
Wow.
still going. She's still going strong. That
Nice.
brick house, but yeah, I have a little bit of both. So I'm like, I know that there is no Italian food out on the West Coast, and that's all I can confidently say.
Yeah.
Struggle.
It is a
Prove
struggle.
me wrong.
It's a
I
struggle.
can't. I cannot. I do have a request though for your next song. And I know Anthony today what did you say to me? What is her next?
Yeah, I was wondering what is the next part of the patriarchy that we are breaking down, right? You did body image issues and that whole idea with Victoria's Secret. Then you have the whole princess kind of problematic Disney angle. What's the next part?
I have the answer. I need you to write a song about the stupid phrase girl boss and boss babe because I hate it.
I
why?
know which comedian you just watched.
Eliza, I love her.
I love
I've been saying it before. And I decided
Meanwhile, Like my song is so main character like that. Like I cringe at myself sometimes where I'm like, did you just say goddamn CEO in a song? Like,
No.
shut up.
But you didn't say girl CEO. You just
You
said
didn't say,
CEO.
you were like, you're not
Right.
you're a boss babe. You said CEO.
I hate that term. I hate girl boss. Like,
I-
what's the difference between a regular boss and a girl boss?
I would like you to start referring to any boss that is in your life that is a male as a boy boss and see how that goes. Because I did that.
Oh. And they're like, what did you just say to me?
Boy boss.
So
Yes,
what is
boy boss?
what is the next part of the patriarchy that we are knocking down?
I don't want to be the spokesperson for the patriarchy. I suck. But I will tell you, like I'm out here getting married to like this like brawly ginger straight dude.
I mean,
But I'll tell you, there is one thing that I hate the idea of like how far this may not be like a patriarchal thing. This may be like women between women. Like,
Mhm.
and I think that like the competition
mm,
is so brutal, even starting in like the animal kingdom of middle school, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Competition's brutal here. It's brutal in Hollywood. And it's a lot of, I don't know if you're on TikTok going, I'm on TikTok. It's like a lot of mean girl energy. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, I see it with Chelsea, you know, and I'm like, I do want to talk about how much more dangerous we'd be as women
Yeah.
if we just stopped coming for each other.
Oh, it's
All of a sudden it would be like, oh God, game over, right?
when
And,
groups of women realize that, you see how much things change. And
Dude.
you're right. It's scary. It's dangerous. Watch out.
Yeah.
it's literally scary. Like I don't even know. I don't know why I'm making this reference, but even watching Love Island, I was like, it's so crazy when the girls realize when they start to pump each other up for like 5 seconds, how all of a sudden like the boys are just like, is there anything we could get you? It's like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it balances everything out a little bit. But I think like a song that I have that I really do like, it would be the last, like aside from a bestie little bestie anthem I have for my best friend, it'd be the last thing that would really address any problems, but it's more of a personal thing. Would be, I did write a song for my ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend
Ooh.
where I'm like, hey, like just so you know, like if he says any of this stuff to you, like it isn't you, like
I love that.
So
don't
like a
fall
warning
into-
message.
a warning, a warning message, just to be like,
Yeah.
you don't have to like buy into any of like the weird manipulation or gaslighting that he'll put you through if he's like that still. So I'm like, but just so you know, he could be the problem. Like it might
Yeah.
not be you, and you might not be paranoid because I wasn't being paranoid, you know. Like
He is the problem.
he's
You
the
know,
problem. It's him.
I not only do I love what you've done so far, I can't wait to see where you go next. Not to put pressure
Yeah,
on you.
no,
I just can't
I-
wait to see where you go next. And it's been a pleasure to have you with us.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting us into your home. We appreciate that very much.
you.
And I can't wait to see you again.
I love you
And-
guys. Ugh.
As you leave, I have one last question. It's a one-word answer. At the end of the video with Nana, she says bippity boppity, and then the video cuts off. What did Nana actually say?
You said bippity boppity bitch.
I knew it.
I actually said, I cut my part out. She said, bippity boppity bitch. And I went, please, like, bitch, please. And it's like, TikTok is so weird about swearing. So
I
like,
know.
and it's already bad enough. The moms are coming for me for saying dog damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever.
I'm like, I'm Jewish. Oh, God.
And you're an adult, and we appreciate you. So, Jax, thank you for being here. You look great. We love you. We hope to get to meet you in real life one day soon.
I love you guys. Thanks so much for the Jersey energy I needed
Woo!
today.
We needed it too. See ya.
Go get your dunks. We'll see you guys.
Bye.
That was so much fun.
Oh my goodness. I think it's still half screen.
Let's see. Are we good now? We're on the regular screen. We are on the regular
Woo.
screen. That was so much fun. And you know what was interesting? Because we've seen her so often on like Elvis's show or
I feel like I knew her.
I feel like I knew her already, but I was worried that because we weren't in person, we weren't going to get like the same energy.
No,
but
we didn't.
she's incredible. That was so cool.
Yeah. We
Uh,
went over our time. I always get nervous doing that. I don't like being that dick.
No, we only went over.
By
We went over
5
2
minutes.
minutes.
5. It's 12:33. Oh, you're right. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
we had till
Sorry.
12:30.
Yeah.
And that was more of like a soft. It wasn't like you have to be off by 12:30.
That's true.
We did have an interview one time. This was the craziest thing that I think I experienced in the interview world. Now, I have to give you a backstory. I have known the various women of Fifth Harmony since they were on a mall tour, like before they had even Work From Home as a hit. Like Sledgehammer was the thing they were trying to make work, and it just wasn't working on radio. And I got to interview them a ton of times before they finally like kind of crossed over and made it a hit. So I have a really good relationship with them. And we were doing here in Seattle a phone interview with Normani. And the person who came on, the producer or whoever was talking to was like, all right, you guys have 15 minutes. And it was live on the air. And not only did we try as hard as we could to stick to that 15 minutes, but she started us late. Like the person connecting us couldn't connect us properly. And we got a warning. And I said something like, hey, I know we only have a couple minutes. And even Normani was like, no, I have time for you. And then the woman hung up on us.
That's right. We weren't we were live.
I'm pretty sure, or no, we were going live like very quickly after that.
Oh, Martha's right. You get that.
Oh, the name I dropped? Listen, they're my friends.
They do. Listen, I will say that when the women of Fifth Harmony see Anthony, they're like, Anthony! And I'm like, I'm just going to go sit in this corner.
Listen, I'm charming sometimes. No, they are. All of them are super sweet.
Yeah.
Like they are the nicest women out there.
I feel like we were the only people that I knew though in this whole world that didn't talk to Jax.
Yeah, that's true. She's been working.
Yeah.
Like she has put in.
Let me tell you.
The radio shows, the tours, the appearances, the wacky things radio people make you do, or just
interviews are draining. If I'm on a podcast with someone, even like especially when you're by yourself, right? Like someone else to take the weight. It's nice.
Oh, yeah.
It's not only are you talking, you have to keep your energy up, you have to focus, you have to listen. And just your brain is working so much because you're recalling so much information. You're trying to formulate thoughts in your head that are actually going to make sense when they come out. Being interviewed, and yeah, job interviews, same idea. But being interviewed back to back to back, no, thank you.
Ashley just said something in the chat. Why does nobody agree with me about Starbucks? I missed your first comment.
She was saying that Starbucks is better than Dunkin'. As someone who doesn't really drink coffee anymore, but when I moved out here 7 years ago, and I couldn't have Dunkin' anymore. But even before then, I started drinking Starbucks.
Let me explain.
I think Starbucks is way better.
I know, like in New York and New Jersey, there is definitely a lot of people who love the Dunkin' life. And when you go up to like New England, they love it even more.
I mean,
but
they run on Dunkin'.
I will explain the fascination that the East Coast has. I see what you did there. With Dunkin' compared to Starbucks, okay?
Okay. Dunkin'
Donuts, for East Coasters who grew up with Dunkin' Donuts, is the Lindsay Lohan character in Mean Girls, okay? It's like you're comfortable with it, it treats you right, it's kind to you. Starbucks is Regina George. Starbucks is the one, it's like a little snooty, you have to order with like weird sizes, it charges more. It's like the a-hole
decent explanation
in high school that makes you feel like you're not good enough.
That's good. I'll give you that.
I think that's the distinction between the two if you grew up with Dunkin'. Yeah. Every time I step into a Starbucks, even though I do get my medicine ball pretty often, I know there's people probably that listen to us and work in the offices down the street. I just feel like I'm not good enough to be there. I've never felt not good enough to be in a Dunkin'.
Facts.
Right?
And when I'm back in Jersey, I go to Dunkin' for my family pretty often because I'm always like, what does anyone need? They need extra large coffees at 3 p.m. And I'm like, you idiots are the same people that are like, I have anxiety. I'm like, well, this is why. But then they get half of it with cream. And I'm like, this is why you're shitting yourself. Like, what is going on? But let me tell you something. A double chocolate, like the glazed chocolate with the chocolate icing on top. Best donut.
Strawberry frosted all day, every day.
Best donut.
Normally,
and their hot chocolate.
Their hot chocolate is actually pretty good.
So good. I get it all the time.
Normally, when I land at Newark Airport, because at baggage claim they have the Dunkin' Donuts kiosk, I will, if they have it available, I will always get myself. It's the first thing I do. A strawberry frosted with sprinkles.
But I do love that Starbucks, like for people that actually, I think Starbucks is for people that actually like the idea of coffee, right? Like you're not like the same idea where people are like, I like different types of alcohol. I'm not just drinking to get drunk. Okay. I think Dunkin' is for people that are like, I just need the caffeine. Where for me at Starbucks, I liked the nitro cold brew because I liked how it tastes. Or the new thing now that's like,
that's at Starbucks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like with the one I tried that my sister had when I sipped the like something foam. So good.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. But I think that Starbucks is for people that like trying different
I will
flavors.
let me counter that opinion because I don't think you're 100% wrong. I think Starbucks is for people who think they like and know a lot about coffee because
That's
I
true,
feel like if
'cause-
you did really know coffee, you'd go to like a local
Right.
place by you.
Like Watson's Counter. Psh,
yeah.
you want to be a coffee connoisseur? You go there. And James, he'll be the first person to be like, Starbucks is shit, and this is why.
But here's the interesting
he
thing,
might
though.
be in here right now.
I will, and I know we're having a debate now, but I have no problem with the Starbucks of the world, the Dunkins of the world, the Chipotle's, McDonald's of the world, because there is my favorite thing about all of them is when you go to a new place, and this is really the big draw. This is why even on road trips, people will usually go to a McDonald's or something they're familiar with, because you know your order, you know that it's, even if it's not the best, it will be consistent.
Yes.
And people like to know what they are getting in, especially if they're eating or drinking it.
Like when we got to Taiwan, the first place we went was Starbucks.
Did we really?
First place.
I don't remember that.
We literally, everyone dropped off their bags and we walked across the street to Starbucks. And I remember, well, we also needed the caffeine because
That's
we
fair, yeah.
flew like, who the hell knows what time it actually was for our bodies. And I remember getting that. And then I was like, I'm going to get like an egg cup or something because I don't know what I'm about to eat.
Yeah. But I think there is, anytime you travel, when you see something that is familiar, it's one of the reasons, this is a weird comparison to make. It's one of the reasons that starting a new radio show or TV show is so difficult, because people like to know what they are getting, especially in the morning. And
Facts.
familiarity almost trumps quality and content because you're familiar with it. And that's the biggest hurdle to climb for any business, no matter where you are.
Yeah.
And when we travel, especially, and we feel like we're out of our element, that familiar feeling makes you feel a little more at ease.
Yeah. No, it's facts. Hey, Houston DT. Are you Houston who we used to work with, Houston? Because I don't normally see that name in here, and I'm wondering if he's here because it's a different time.
Or does that person live in downtown Houston?
Oh.
They switched it. I made that part up, but
I was
liked
trying to
it.
click on the profile.
Dutch Bros for life. I don't think, and granted, I'm not a coffee person, so I'm like the worst person for this conversation, but I don't think I've ever been to a Dutch Bros.
We got a message from her record label rep.
And said?
Just said loved it.
Oh,
I
cool.
don't know what they loved.
Well, she was on the call.
I couldn't see.
Yeah, she was on there.
My armpits have been sweating this whole time.
Truth Bomb Tones. That's my new favorite nickname. Truth Bomb Tones. I'm also glad that Jax wasn't here yesterday when I talked about how I'm now part of the He-Man Woman Haters Club. That I don't think would have gone over so well.
I was. You sent me a screenshot of the show. That's how I like edit that and put it on YouTube.
Mhm.
And one of the comments that I saw on the side was from Angela in Spokane, and she was quoting both of us, and you said something like, "Make America manly again," and I responded with, "You're the most feminine man I know." And I'm going to go back and pull that clip. So, Angela, thank you.
That's fair. That's
I
fair.
laughed when I saw that.
I go to Dutch Bros when I can't find a stand with Lotus drinks.
I don't know what that is.
What is
Hold
a
on,
Lotus
but
drink?
Angela, not Spokane Angela, other Angela, Ami,
AMI?
AMI, weren't you the one that told us like Dutch Bros is racist towards Native Americans? I don't know what the.
Oh,
didn't
I have
they
no
do
idea.
something? I like automatically in my head hate Dutch Bros because you told me
I feel
this.
like there was a.
If
I
you
wanna
drink there, then I
say-
can drink there.
I want to say there was a land dispute or something between a Dutch Bros, maybe in Oregon. Maybe I'm piecing things together from different stories that I've read, but I feel like that was the issue. But
You know,
I'm also dumb. So.
you know my favorite cafe?
What?
Cafe Disco.
What is that?
I just watched that episode of The Office yesterday when they turned the Michael Scott Paper Company into Cafe Disco. And I was like, man, this is like the one reason I'd want to be back in an office again because I could do stupid things with my coworkers.
That's fair. I mean, you could do them here, but then you have to clean up after yourself and stuff. So,
What?
wait, what? Wait, what place?
Clearly Dutch Bros.
They have a lot of theories with the straw colors, meaning they are rating you on the way you look based on
go.
the straws you give.
Let's go and see.
That is interesting. Love your shirt, Carla Marie. That's from
And
Augustine
Anthony.
in the
It says,
Netherlands.
and Anthony.
Oh, it
Thank
does.
you.
Okay. I don't know what shirt. Probably mine because mine's better. But we're gonna move on from that.
Okay.
Real quick. These are the last two things.
Oh,
we're
we
gonna
got a
talk
whole
about.
sheet.
Oh yeah, this is a show.
I didn't see it.
This is a show. New Jersey's NIT disaster. So I spent a lot of time yesterday watching the National Invitational Tournament, which is basically the second place tournament when it comes to postseason basketball in college. And Rutgers was playing as one, I think, the top seed in the whole tournament. And Seton Hall was playing as one of the bottom seeds in the tournament. So both of our teams were in. Neither of them did well.
Rutgers pulled what I like to call a Rutgers,
Mhm.
and they lost in the last seconds of the game. Like, winning the whole time, and then all of a sudden they're like, basketball! I forgot! Like, that's literally what they do.
Yeah.
Every game that I have watched this season, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I don't even know if I've watched them win.
I mean, that's one of the reasons that Rutgers was left out of the tournament to begin with, the main tournament.
And then I don't know what those kids were chanting at one point.
Yeah, it was at the
It
rack,
sounded
right?
like Seahawks.
It's also funny because if you're not familiar with Rutgers basketball and New Jersey basketball, the Rutgers Athletic Center is where they play, right?
The rack.
The rack.
Or also Jersey Mike's Arena.
But now, I think 2 years ago, Jersey Mike's took the naming rights of the rack, maybe
Good call.
3 years ago. But even on TV, they keep calling it the rack. And if I was the person at Jersey Mike's that paid however many thousands or millions of dollars to pay for that, I would be so furious. Like, guys, it's not the rack anymore.
Well, maybe they should have called it Jersey Mike's Sub Rack.
Jersey's rack? No, Mike's rack?
That's,
Jersey Mike's rack?
Jersey's Rack is what they used to call me in college.
No, it's not.
No, I didn't have boobs then. Jersey's Rack is what they used to call me at Elvis' show after October 2013.
But Rutgers, that game, I will say this, and granted, I'm not a Rutgers fan. I am not mad that they lost at all. But that Rutgers-Hofstra game was possibly the best college basketball game that I've watched this year.
It was like back and forth, threes.
Overtime, close the whole way through. It was so good. And obviously, I got the bonus of Rutgers losing.
Listen, I mean, I'm a fan, no matter what. I love them
How many Rutgers games have you been to?
a lot.
Oh, yeah? Basketball?
Yeah.
Yeah? How many times have you watched
One.
Rutgers basketball
One.
play at the rack?
At Jersey Mike's Arena?
Yeah.
I haven't been there since it's been Jersey Mike's Arena.
But did you ever watch...
No, I was too busy eating at the dining hall, probably. Okay? I loved the dining hall.
You've watched exactly as many Seton Hall games live as you have Rutgers games live because it was the same game.
Well, I don't live in New Jersey, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
You didn't go to school at Rutgers University? Are you kidding me?
I was busy, and I was only there for 3 years. I was busy creating my radio career, okay?
Yeah. I went to a lot of Seton Hall games, and look where we ended up.
You weren't working at the radio station.
Directly next to each
You
other.
weren't news director reporting live from the Democratic National Convention for New Jersey.
I was not. But moving over, so Rutgers loses their game. Top seed goes down. Hofstra advances. Heartbreaking fashion. Seton Hall got so screwed with the game they had to play yesterday. They had to, in one day, travel 2 time zones, go up to the mountains in Boulder, Colorado, 5,000 feet in the air, play against their team, Colorado, on 1 day's notice.
Again, it's playing again.
And they were playing. That game ended after 1 a.m. East Coast
I mean,
time.
that does suck, but like, whatever. Welcome to the real life,
And
kids.
we lost by 1 point, very similar fashion to Rutgers. We lost. We had a lead with 20 seconds or so left.
Yeah. I asked.
Had a 1 point lead, and we lost.
I asked Google, hey, Google, what's the score of the Seton Hall basketball game? And then she said like 65, 64. And
Yeah.
I audibly was like, oh. 'Cause you were.
Heartbreaking.
That's right. Thank you, Julie. Cardboard CM was at the rack.
Yeah,
They
that doesn't count.
Didn't they mail that to me or something?
Until plastic CM gets to the rack, I'm not worrying about
It's
it.
silicone.
Oh,
Dick.
silicone.
It's silicone, Botox, and bleach. And I'm still the realest bitch you know.
We'll see. We're going to move on. That was the New Jersey NIT disaster. But the good news, if you hate basketball and you hate us talking about the schools that we went to and their basketball seasons, it's all over until November November of
Now
next year.
it's,
Yankee season?
yeah. I was
Yeah.
thinking, does Yankee Stadium do tours? I think I'm going to take my dad for his birthday.
I think almost every stadium does tours. Yeah.
During the season, though?
Yeah.
I went to the old one. I don't remember. Not in season. Because if I take my dad to a game, like, I can't deal with that man around groups of people. So I figure a tour would be better.
I think he would enjoy a game though.
He's been to plenty.
Yeah.
But, like, that's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. But if it's just you and him, if it's a daddy-daughter day,
That's like,
I don't think you have to invite everybody because that's
they
like
can pay for it themselves.
That's
I'm
true.
not paying for everyone.
That's
But
very
like shuffling him around people, and then he's literally like, this fucking idiot in line right here, and the guy's gonna literally be right here, and then I gotta be like, oh shit, this man's gonna beat up my 77-year-old dad, or 78 at that point.
Yeah.
So,
What else do we have? Oh yeah, we do have a bracket, by the way, that I believe Jen and Lisa set up.
okay. Thank you.
So if you want to join that, I had picked UCLA as my champion. I don't think I've ever picked the national champion though, so don't go by me. But
Well, it's gonna be nice to not feel like I have to pick Rutgers to do things.
It is nice. I filled out that bracket. I mean, I usually have a Big East bias. Like I will support fellow Big East teams through the first round. I think I put all of them through the first round, and that has not served me well in the past.
No, I don't want Princeton and FDU to get the love.
Princeton, they both have very tall tasks ahead of them.
I gotta text my cousin. He went to FDU.
I think Arizona. Did you just whack your hand?
I jammed it and everything cracked.
I think FDU plays Purdue.
I'm a big chicken fan.
And I think Princeton plays Arizona. I think. Also, Kansas does look very good. Rock Chalk Jayhawk, Martha.
All right, I'll pick them for Martha.
Kansas? They have a very good chance of repeating. Next on the list, though, the annoying gym couple. Now, we've talked before about how ridiculous it looks when couples wear like matching gym clothes. I remember early when we moved here, there was like the highlighter couple. They both dressed in like neon green and they kissed each other all the time. It's real weird.
I'll never forget that conversation.
And then someone on Facebook sent me this like, I know those people that you're talking about. Is this the couple? And it sure was. And they were wearing the same neon outfit. But there is a new annoying gym couple at my home, LA Fitness in Ballard. Would you like to tell everyone, Carla Marie?
It's Carla Marie Anthony of Carla Marie Anthony fame.
So Carla Marie now goes to LA Fitness, and the first day.
Well, I'm not like a regular. I go in between my Orange Theory days.
Yeah, but you showed up on, what was it, Monday?
2 days ago.
2 days ago. The first day we went to the gym together in this new version of Carla Marie that wants to go to the gym. Both wearing You Look Great shirts, and I did not realize it till we got there.
Well, I mean, that's all I wear when I work out.
Well, same.
But today I went You Look Great with Seahawks underneath because it's a little weird sometimes to do the double when you're like, take off a shirt and you're wearing the same shirt underneath.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, maybe people will be like, oh, that's the girl from the Seahawks. But then I realized everyone wears Seahawks. So.
Yeah, everyone does. But there are 4 in my gym repertoire. No, that's not the word. There are 4 You Look Great shirts that I have that I wear to the gym. So now I've got to like ration them out. When the days that you don't go, I'll wear my You Look Great stuff.
I'm going to secretly see what you're wearing and then put it under, and I'm going to wear the exact same color.
You could. We have a lot of the same stuff, but we are now, at least that one day, we were the annoying gym couple. I'm going to do my best to not make it happen again.
Scotty, I'll bring my varsity jacket back from New Jersey so Anthony can wear it to the gym.
So how did you feel, though? This is 2 days now of going to a real gym.
So on Monday, I did like one of Anthony's programs, and it's just not for me. Like, it's just like, I'm not about it. But
what
it was
did you not
nice.
like
You
about
helped me. It was great. It's for boys, I think.
I mean, lifting weights is not.
No, like the moves are made for boy bodies. It's
How
just
is that?
different. I can't explain it. It's just different. But I am currently in the trial app. Like, not trial. I signed up for Whitney Simmons, a live app, and I'm doing the free week to see if I like it. And it's like prettier app, and it's, it's cleaner. Big fan of it. And I did one of her workouts today, and it was perfect for me. Exactly what I'm looking for, and to lift heavier, because Orange Theory is a lot of HIIT, it's a lot of cardio, and I want to do more weight training. And sometimes it's like very overwhelming just to go to a gym and just do things. It's like nearly impossible, especially when you're like me, because I'll just be like, all right, I'm done. But having like almost a to-do list is great for me. So I liked it. I already have people that I'm like, what are you doing? Like the guy with the stick.
That guy's super in shape, though. I know who you're talking about.
Waving a stick around and yelling, and I literally was like, is he talking to me? No, he's just yelling with his stick.
He does. That guy, I've seen him do. He's an older gentleman. I have seen him do a lot of like handstand push-ups. He does a lot of like what calisthenics, I guess you would call them.
Dude,
like body weight stuff. He is unbelievably fit. And he uses a stick to like stretch and do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about.
Then I like all the girls,
Who have you talked to?
No one. I just they're not like me, and I can tell. They're welcoming.
I don't think there are very mean people at gyms, to be honest. I
Well,
know it's like a big fear that
I
people
did
have.
note that there were like 2 guys yesterday. I'm like, are they I couldn't tell. Like, I feel like everyone's watching me when I'm doing moves. And I'm like, exercises, moves. And I'm like, am I doing it wrong? Or are you just staring because you're rude?
But I think everyone does have that complex a little bit, especially when you go to a gym, because there's a lot of things that you're battling with there at a gym. You know, like you're putting yourself out there. You have your own self, your confidence issues. But I also feel like that. And at the end of the day, no one's really staring at you unless you're doing something completely weird.
Yeah. Like waving a stick around.
Yeah.
Um,
Or like the guy I saw yesterday. I saw possibly the worst person I've seen at a gym yesterday. I went late at night, saw a guy that I've never seen there before, and I was filling up water, and he was right next to the water station is where you could deadlift, like the platform to deadlift that has like the wood planks on the side and stuff, the bumper plates.
The deadlift stage, if you will.
And he was, I guess, setting up to do the deadlift, but he was just, I've never seen this before in my life, taking the weights from the rack and throwing them.
No, sir, we don't do that here.
And not dropping them hard, not dropping them.
It's when
whatever.
you say, sir, this is not a Wendy's.
He was taking these bumper plates and just throwing them over to the deadlift area, and just causing the biggest scene I've ever seen.
See, that's when you get stared at.
Yeah,
not just because you're doing
absolutely.
Arnold presses with 15-pound dumbbells.
Yeah, but it was wild, and I almost went up and like, dude, what are you doing?
You could hurt somebody.
And he actually, one of the weights that he threw did end up rolling towards me, and not like, it wasn't fast.
What the hell just happened?
We got, what did just happen?
Oh, Kira rated us.
Oh, sick. That's awesome. Thank you very much, Kira. That's right. I do have the sound notification for when people raid. That way we know that they're coming in.
But my biggest thing with the gym is I say this all the time. Yes, it's intimidating. You are going to feel intimidated.
Mm-hmm.
Me, as someone who works out 5 to 6 days a week, every day for a year and more, actually, went to the gym on Monday and was like, it's new, right? Anytime you do something new, you're going to feel that, but no one cares. No one's actually looking at you. Like, those guys weren't, they probably were looking at my You Look Great shirt.
They could have been.
But go to the gym. It is... The anxiety may suck for a bit, but guess what? You'll live longer.
Shout out to Finding My Perfect Awkward. That is our friend Kira. Yes. Thank you very much for the raid. You just missed it. We had Jackson here as our special guest on a Wednesday show that we don't normally do.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun, and she was great, and that will be up on YouTube. We'll have the isolated video of the interview, and then we'll have this whole show in case you want to rewatch any or all of it. Yes. So thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome to the new chicken nuggets. Thank you for that, Juan. He said, welcome.
We're not making chicken nuggets a thing. We're not calling our people chicken nuggets.
Yes, we are.
They already have EMHs. We already have EMHs.
They're every morning homie chicken nuggets.
Well, we could call them EMNs.
No.
Every morning nuggets.
No.
Every morning chickens. No. EMH.
Chicken nuggets
CNs?
are very controversial these days.
Why is that?
Because all the chickens are sick and dying.
Yeah, but why are the nuggets controversial?
Because they come from the sick chickens.
Yeah. But if we didn't have so many chicken nuggets, we wouldn't have so many chickens.
It's not even real food, honestly, probably. Who knows what
chicken
they're feeding
nuggets
us at this point? Like, come on.
I don't think anything we eat anymore is real. Thank you
That's why I'm
for
gonna
the
build a
follow
garden.
to Kenneth Serrano 20. Appreciate that very much.
Chicken. I haven't had chicken or pork or beef since last Wednesday. That's crazy to me. I think the longest I've ever gone is a week, but I have been having fish.
It has. I just messaged my cousin actually earlier today because my cousin is a nutritionist, dietitian. That's like his world in New Jersey. He actually just opened up his own place not too long ago. Like, actually, at this point, probably 3 years ago. But I asked him. I said, "Do you know a good vegan protein?" Because I'm doing my church's fast, which if you're Syrian Orthodox, when you do Lent, you're supposed to give up all animal products with the exception of fish. So like you go pescatarian essentially. And it is difficult. Like I feel like I haven't weighed myself yet, but I feel like I've lost 5 pounds already.
I'll be honest with you. Today was the first day in a very long time that I woke up and I thought that I looked less bloated in my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that as someone who's been taking all these supplements because I have this stomach thing that's going on. And I'm like, is it the lack of beef?
But you're just getting rid of beef or meat. You're not getting rid of dairy, right?
I'm not having dairy.
Oh,
I'm
you
not
aren't?
supposed to. I have the fake cheese.
Okay.
If Vio Life. It's so good.
What is it called?
Vio Life.
Vio?
Yeah, when it's like cooked, you literally
Like VIO.
can't taste the difference.
Okay.
That is the best fake cheese that I have found, or fees as I like to call it. Anthony's not having eggs. I am still having eggs. Because I bought so many eggs, and we got to get through them.
Oh, this is interesting. Martha said, "Did you see that Buffalo Wild Wings are getting sued for calling their boneless buffalo wings wings instead of nuggets?" Which I guess is true.
But they're boneless. It's like they're synonyms in my head.
Boneless wings and nuggets are synonyms? Or boneless
But
wings
I guess
and
not,
wings?
because it's not like they were like, well, here's a wing with bones. We're going to take out the bones and serve it to you. They just served you chicken nuggets
Yeah.
with the wing sauce. Honestly,
Okay, but then what is the difference? Because I feel like there's a texture difference, too, when you eat a nugget versus a boneless wing. Like, when I eat a boneless wing, I still feel like I'm eating a regular chicken. When I eat nuggets, I know it's like processed chicken. Does anyone understand the difference or the difference there?
but it's the same. Hold on.
Yes.
You said, is Angela talking to me or you? And said maybe you have a dairy intolerance. I very much have a dairy intolerance. I don't eat dairy ever at home. If I'm out and have like pizza or something, then yes. But I don't ever eat dairy for myself. Like if we make tacos, he has cheddar cheese and I have fake cheese.
Mm-hmm. Boneless ribs at the Chinese restaurant isn't really ribs. That's true. But this is also...
And you're not really chicken nuggets, so are we going to get sued?
We might. By Big Chicken. Purdue. They're going to attack us, not the school, the chicken company, or both.
So hungry.
I am starving right now. But here's a fun fact for you. So Pringles, and this happens, I just talked about it on the Morning Show podcast. Anytime there is a new product that can confuse an industry, the industry leaders try to figure out how to make sure the wording goes in a very specific direction.
Like
that way
almond
they
milk.
don't lose anything. So almond milk, all of the milks were being sued by the dairy industry. All of the non-dairy milks were being sued by the dairy industry because the dairy industry didn't want them using the term milk because they felt like it was misleading.
But then I can't use breast milk? You can't call it breast milk.
No, it is milk. It is. Dairy milk comes from mammals.
So then they got to call it dairy milk or
Yeah.
udder milk.
They could call it udder milk.
I think that's what they need to.
They should call it utterly delicious.
They need to call it udder milk. And if it comes from something else, like a breast. then
So
it's
let's say this. Milk from mammals, actual milk, was suing the vegetable milks, the nut milks,
the nut milks.
right? And I think it actually ended up going to whatever, maybe the Supreme Court, I forgot the story, but they basically said, yes, the oat milks can still call themselves milk, but they should, it's not a requirement, they should put the original source on the packaging,
Like oats?
and they should show that
Well, they do.
they should also show that there is a nutritional difference between dairy milk and other types of non-dairy milk.
And if I was like oat milk, I would probably write, you're not going to shit yourself if you drink this.
No, but there are certain things that you are lacking
Oh, yeah, I know. I mean,
when you have an oat milk.
like,
There's less
doctors
protein.
still very much like the next step after my newborn niece is done with her formula is whole milk. Like, my nephew Michael drinks whole milk, like that in a bottle. Like, that's what they give babies still. And I'm
Yeah.
like, huh. Feels like, but my sister and I, when we were little, we loved, and it's so gross to think of now, taking milk, putting it in a mug, and putting it in the microwave and drinking warm milk. Because that's
Yeah.
what you have as a baby. But, like, right now.
Today, yeah. But the reason I went down that milk path was we were talking about boneless wings and how the wing industry probably doesn't want boneless wings being
Big
lumped
wing?
into big wing.
Big wing.
Doesn't want those lumped together. But back in the day, Pringles was sued by the potato chip industry because a Pringle, if you notice, they're obviously shaped exactly the same. They come in the tube. If you look at the container, it should say potato crisps, not potato chips. There was a lawsuit, and the potato industry essentially won. And you can only call yourself a potato chip if you are sliced from a potato, because what Pringles does is they basically take a potato mash and they
And
mold
it.
they mold that chip that you're eating, and then they fry it or bake it or whatever the hell they do to make it hard. So it is not slicing a
So big potato chip came for Pringles.
Yeah, big chip.
No, because
Big
it could be chocolate.
I think all the chips have like one pool.
No.
And they protect each
It's
other.
big potato. Big potato. Big, not baked.
Big potato?
Maybe it is big potato. And
Yeah.
then all the potato makers fall under that.
Anytime I think of like even the serious ones like Big Pharma or Big Oil, anytime I put big in front of an industry, I think of like Mondo Burger from Good Burger.
Oh. I don't remember Mondo Burger.
That wasn't it Mondo Burger? That was like the bad guy. That was like the antagonist in the story was Mondo Burger.
I don't know about that.
Just plopping their meat on a conveyor belt. Oh, what else? do we have?
I did recently come across this product called Nutter, Nuttr. And it was on Shark Tank, and I saved it as something I'm going to buy. Remember we talked about like when we get an influx of money, all the things we want to buy?
Oh, yeah.
So you want to buy a $50,000 watch? I want to buy Nutter. It's a machine. Like think of like when you have the machines where like you would plug in to heat your water instead of using a teapot, you have like a water heater machine like to drink. You
I don't
never had
know.
one of those?
Oh, like an electric one.
Yes.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
pull up Nutter if you
Okay.
want.
Nuttr.
Yeah. And you can make your own oat milk, almond milk, whatever with this.
Oh.
Nuttr with this thing.
Nutter.
But it's like almost $200.
So what do? You put almonds in it and it makes milk?
Makes milk. Because
Nutter
I have
machine
Kristen
here. Let me
Cavallari's book, and
see if I
she's
can
like,
put
this
on the
is how
screen.
you make cashew milk, and you let it sit for 97 hours. I'm like, ain't happening. I'm just going to go buy a carton. Thank you.
Isn't there also like an insane amount of water that you have to use to make any of those milks, like the nut milks?
I don't know. Not in this thing. It looks small to me.
Let's put this on the screen. So this thing, the Nuttr,
The Nutter machine.
automatic nut milk
Wait.
maker.
Nutter machine. Isn't that what they used to call you in high school?
Nutter, didn't even know her. All right. Homemade almond, oat, coconut, soy, or plant-based milks and non-dairy beverages. Boil and blend single servings. So you just drop almonds in there?
All right. There's got to be a video we can watch.
Huh.
They don't have a video?
Well, this is
Ooh.
Amazon. Let me go
No,
to
they always put a video on Amazon. Maybe if you scroll down on the.
Well, let's go to the sponsored one.
I hear your stomach growling.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. As seen on Shark Tank. Sustainability, how it works. Here we go. How it works. Don't put the final product first.
There we go. There's a
See
video.
Nutter in action. How do I?
Can you see that on here? Oh yeah! Wow. Look. Now we're gonna go to jail.
Oh yeah. Okay, so they're putting it in there. Hold on, let me
Wait,
start.
they put a syrup.
Okay, so homemade almond milk. What do we got? We put almonds, obviously. Measure it out.
This video's gonna get flagged on YouTube for
Oh,
that
syrup.
stupid.
Then hot water.
Ooh, her nail polish color is OPI. Mod about you. 100%.
And that's it, huh? Where does all the almond residue go? Does it like strain it out? Was there a strainer? Did I miss that?
I don't know.
I think I missed it.
It comes
this
in
is how
it
you
comes in
open
a box.
This is how you open a box. That's cool.
Wait,
That's
can
what
you
the
make
box-
matcha? I'm confused.
I mean, it is interesting.
Right? This is one of
there
those
is a
things.
strainer there.
This
okay.
is one of those things you put on your wedding registry and make some poor soul buy it for you.
And then you never use it ever. Now, I don't think. Did you guys hear the "This Will Be" song?
The song from the
Is it like a Match.com?
Match.com
Yeah.
commercial. This will be.
All right, just a second of it. We're good. We heard more of it
Well,
because it
but
was
we're
muted here.
Still gonna go to prison on YouTube, so we should take it out because I don't need that guy
No.
making any money from our whole video with Jax.
We'll be fine. And the YouTube's actually a little different than Twitch. So YouTube, if you use a song, they just tell you that if your video makes money, the person who made that song
And
gets
it's
some of
gonna
it.
make money because it's an interview with Jax, and I don't want that person taking any pennies from us.
Okay, we'll worry about that later. I don't think the 1 second is gonna hurt us.
I'm telling you, YouTube, they don't mess around.
I agree. Slap a zombie. We'll get a Nutter sponsorship.
Nutter.
I didn't even know her.
It's just every time I can't work with this company, I'll say that.
You did hear the song 2 Second Tunes? Yeah, it was like a 2 Second Tune song. Yeah, I think we'll be fine.
I am telling you, they don't mess around.
I'm telling you.
They got
Why
all
you
the
say it
AI
like that?
at YouTube.
No, but here's the thing. With the Jax interview, that'll be we're going to have a separate video for that anyway.
So we're not gonna post this whole thing.
No, we will. There'll be 2. But for people who just want to see the Jax interview, they
But
shouldn't
all I
have to
need
wait
is
through
for
all the
you-
other
what-
nonsense.
How far are we into this stream? At 107 that happened.
Okay, well, you can cut it out if you like.
No, just hit mute.
All right, I'll figure it out. Listen,
How rude of them. to
this
use that
specialty
song.
show was a lot of fun. We do have 2 announcements before we get out of here. Next week, we will only be on this show Monday and Tuesday.
We
so
can't.
let me explain, actually. Let me go back. We are back tomorrow.
Yes.
Our regular show tomorrow, 8 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast, 11 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. Then we take our regular Friday, where we don't do this show. Then we come back Monday and Tuesday, and that's it for the week. We're not going to talk about why that's happening yet. Sorry.
You'll know by Thursday night.
Yeah, you'll know Thursday evening why we
Okay.
couldn't do a show Thursday morning, if that makes any sense. And on top of that, we do have Carla Marie's surprise. The first part of it is today, and we'll be able to talk about it more and at length tomorrow on tomorrow's show.
So let me clarify, because I
Yes.
do have questions I've been thinking about.
Okay.
This. So we're leaving the home at 5 p.m. Pacific time today.
Around then, I have to double check. Yeah,
Who are you asking?
a person.
We're going to said surprise.
Yes.
And then tomorrow I'm going back to the surprise?
Yes.
So clearly I'm learning something today and performing it tomorrow. Why would
I guess you could. You know what? That's kind of how it'll work. Yes, not entirely. You're
Am
not
I
learning like
filling
a
in for
skill.
Amity on New Day?
Maybe. Because we are going to have to leave after the show tomorrow to complete the thing.
What time tomorrow?
Sometime after the show.
I'm nervous.
You should be. It's a big deal. It's like a very big deal.
What do you mean?
That's what I mean. I mean what I mean.
Very big deal. Am I going to be mayor for a day?
No. But that's besides the point. Who just said I'm nervous now too? Who's that?
No, I do.
it's
I'm
Megan,
never
Megan.
surprised, Kira, so it is kind of cool that I'm surprised.
Oh, Kira's still in here. That's awesome.
Hmm.
And obviously, if you want to hang out, we have 2 ways to do that. We are going to be doing kind of a movie screening. We can have a movie night together. You have the information for that, Carla.
Yes. Well, no, because
Here, I'll put it on the screen.
March 28th, we are hosting with Netflix. It's a screening of Murder Mystery 2 in a movie theater. And if you want to come, right there on the bottom of the screen, you emailed that person.
E. Berg at Allied Media
Nope.
Globe.
That's unbelievable that you can't even literally
Allied
read
Global Marketing. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really reading it. Let me put it in the chat real quick. Or if anyone can actually write that in the chat, because I don't have our
We don't have the
chat
typer.
feature up right now. But eBerg at alliedglobalmarketing.com. Email them. Tell them you're with us. They'll make sure you have a spot. And the last thing, the final thing for the day, we are going to be hanging at Carnival of Cocktails at the start of next month, April 1st. That is not an April Fool's joke. We will be there, although that would be hilarious. Psych! April Fools, we're not there. And if you want to save $10, if you like saving money while you drink and eat, use code CMA when you buy your tickets to the Carnival of Cocktails, hosted by our friends at Seattle Cocktail Week
Oh, my goodness.
and Seattle Cocktail Club. It's all the same thing.
How am I supposed to prep for the podcast when I got to think about where I'm going to be surprised?
Well, you'll be fine.
My brain is not fine.
Well, it's when has it been? give me 1 day. 1 day in the past 3 years, Carla Marie,
3.
that your brain has been fine. I don't even know what that means, honestly.
Can people ask questions and you got to answer them? And Martha said her day is ruined from this. She needs to know. Wait, are you going to film like a Instagram video that's like, I surprised my girlfriend with this and she has no idea where we're going. This is what she thinks it's like one of those. You should.
Probably.
It's great content.
I
Hello.
mean, I'll film some. If you want me to film something today so we can share it,
I don't know what's happening.
I will. I
Am
will
I doing
film.
a boudoir shoot?
No.
Am I going on a stripper pole? Why would I have to do that at 11 a.m. tomorrow?
Well, you got to practice somewhere before you get the big bucks.
Am I?
No, you're going to a stripper pole. You guessed it.
I'm gonna play baseball with the Mariners. They're in town. Kraken. I'm ice skating.
I mean, I am wearing a Kraken-inspired shirt today, and today is the first
Am
day.
I performing with Fall Out Boy? Am I singing? I'm singing karaoke. You said it's something that I always say I can do. Like you forget
don't-
that you dropped.
I think I may have just said that to throw you off
You
the
said,
scent.
"Let's see if you can." You said something about put your money where your mouth is, but it was a different phrase. that like you just messed up, I think.
Put your money where your mouse is. Shout out to Fred. Let's see. It's a cameo from Scary Jones.
No, I sure hope not.
Why? Why would you say that about our friend?
Because I could just FaceTime him. Why would you pay for that?
Well, I wouldn't be paying for it. But it's definitely not singing, says Martha. We can all agree on that. Or is it? Because I have had an idea for Carly Marie singing that we haven't done yet. I've always wanted to see how good some of these producers, like our friends from Cash Cash or someone, how good they are at taking shitty singers.
I mean, my selfie song was decent, and that was Josh.
Auto-tuning them and making them sound halfway decent. Did anyone hear from Fred? So if you don't know, Fred the Mailman did have a surgery today. He told us about it yesterday. But he said there is good news. While he's recovering, he'll be able to hang out with us in Twitch all the time as he's not delivering mail.
I'll check in on him.
But that is it. So if you want to see what the first part of the surprise is, follow us on Instagram tonight. But we will talk about it tomorrow, 8 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast, 11 o'clock in the morning here on the East Coast. Carly Marie, any last words?
Am I going to meet a tiger?
Are you going to meet a tiger?
I think I'm hosting something.
We'll see. See you tomorrow.